Well, Mikel, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, I have to ask you because you were one of the very first people that we knew about that had coronavirus. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm completely recovered. I had some symptoms. Then we got tested, and I tested positive. It took me 5 to 7 days to get back almost to normal. But mine, it wasn't a very, very strong virus, or my immune system was pretty good.
But that must have been a very strange time for you, hearing so much about it and then testing positive yourself.
Yeah, so basically the same day that we were told that we were in risk because we were in contact with the owner of Olympiacos is exactly the day where I started to feel some symptoms. And then I felt a huge responsibility because I knew the next day we were playing Manchester City, and I had a feeling inside myself that something was wrong. And we had to make the point and make it clear and expose to the Premier League and bring the case forward because we could expose a lot of people.
So you were on sort of the front foot with that, Mikel. You were telling people, I don't think it's right that we play this game.
Absolutely. I pulled the doctor to my house, then I put the CEO to my house, and I told them we have a situation here. I have some symptoms. There are some players that they've been in contact. We cannot make that decision. It's too big, you know. We have to refer to the Premier League. We have to communicate Manchester City about the situation, and we have to be protecting everybody, not just in our club, but around the global world, because there's a lot of people going to be involved in the game tomorrow. So we made the right call.
Absolutely, you did, and of course, football has taken a back seat quite rightly since then. How are your friends and family back in Spain? Because we know they are suffering terribly at the moment.
Yes, absolutely. Well, first of all, I had obviously my wife and some other people living with me, and they got the virus. Thanks God, they all went through it really, really good, and the kids are fine. Back at home is very complicated. They have taken even stronger measurements to try to deal with the situation, and now it's looking good, but the situation is critical at the moment.
And what about your great friend Pep Guardiola? Of course, he lost his mother. Have you been able to speak to him at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in touch with him. He was worried before about his parents because obviously they are getting older and they've been trying to isolate him, but it's really sad news. I know the family really well. I send my condolences to them and hopefully they can go through that all together.
And of course, we all echo those thoughts as well, Mikel. What about the Arsenal players right now? Are they dispersed? Are they back in their own countries, or are they all still around London?
They all still around here. We have a very few cases for some personal issues that have occurred in this period, but they all been very respectful with the rules and what we are expecting from them at the moment. And to be fair, they've been really helpful, very understanding. We're doing work with them. We're trying to engage them. We're trying to make them feel that we are close to them, you know. But up to now, it's been a really positive response from them.
Can I ask how you're doing that, Mikel?
Well, using this technology, you know, we cannot touch each other at the moment. So at least we are looking at each other. We're doing small groups, we're doing individual talks. Sometimes I talk to the whole group. We have to maintain them connected. You know, they have to see that what we are doing, a purpose for it. They have to see there's going to be a relation to what we are doing now to when we start training, keep them active, busy, and yeah, they are bored. You know, they have a lot of energy. They are young players, and they need something to do.
Well, that must be the biggest challenge for you as their manager because you do have, as you say, a really young group. This current Arsenal team. Do you think it's actually harder for them than the experienced players right now?
I think so. An experienced player, they have families around and kids, and that's obviously occupying. And we realize now that we are so much away from home, how hard it is for our wives and the people that looks after our children. But for the young ones, yeah, and some of them are on their own in the apartment, and they are long days. So yeah, we have to be caring for them. You know, we have to keep them busy and try to do things to improve their development. That's what we are doing, and their education, basically.
This is the really interesting bit that I want to sort of try and get to, Mikel. You know, you can only do so much as we've found ourselves over this kind of technology. So, are you getting them to do training drills at home? Are you sending them videos to watch? How does it work?
I like to make them think. I like to make them understand what we are being trained to do will since we moved to the club, and then I want them to a little bit assess what they are, in their lives. If they are a parent, if they are single, what they want to do with their lives, how they see the future, how they're going to do that, give me the responses to that, how they look after their parents, their families, what's the relationship that they are involved with the people at the club, you know, get to know them a little bit more. I've been only here 3 months and already a month we spent at home here. So it's a good opportunity to get to know each other, to break some boundaries, because I think the situation helps the people to be a little bit more open with their feelings, and they need to do that. And yeah, we are having some really good conversations.
Do you think in some ways this enforced break will, for some of them, make them realize how blessed they are to be footballers?
Well, if they don't realize that, then they have a massive issue. The issue is not the coronavirus. They have a much bigger issue in their lives, and it's not going to happen now, but probably in the future, it will happen. It's a lesson, and a lot of people complains for the things that they have already. So imagine when you don't have them, how big of a problem is. The challenge we are facing is unprecedented, and we can be crying or feeling sorry for ourselves. Listen, we have to face it face to face. This is the situation. We have to go through it. We're going to suffer. There's a lot of people suffering at the moment, but there's a lot of people that the only thing they have to do to help is stay at home. So then stay at home and respect that.
We could do nothing about the timing, Mikel. As you say, it was unprecedented. But what, you were 4 months, I suppose, into your new job at Arsenal. Did it feel like you were really just getting started there?
Yes, it's a lot of things that I wanted to change, adapt, evolved since I joined in, and I joined in the most busy period of the calendar year in the Premier League in December. So this is a good time to reflect what we've been doing, but as well we had some momentum, and it's a shame that we have to stop that momentum. But again, we have to adapt to it and make the most out of this time that we are not connected, but at least we can see each other and work on things that are relevant to what we want to do. And I want to see the response of the group, the club together, how we deal with this situation and what's the outcome. That's going to tell me a lot of who we are at the moment. The same connection with the fans, how they feel with the team, the statements that we are making, and it's important for me.
But where did that momentum come from, Mikel? Did it feel like to you that your ideas were starting to get through to the players?
Well, I was through a lot when I go here. I got 8 or 10 players injured. There are a lot of issues to deal with. The connection between fans, player, club was in a difficult state on that moment. So we had to change that energy, that belief, that commitment as well from players. And I was very pleased because everybody was on board with what we're doing. And we started to win 3-4 games in a row, and started to think a much better positive mind around the place. We have to kick it again when we have the chance. We don't know when, unfortunately.
But I guess we will have some sort of pre-season when we do start again. Will that help you, do you think, get more time on the training ground with the players than perhaps you wouldn't have expected to have?
Yeah, but we don't really know if that's going to be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a week. It will depend, how far the situation drags on. It's a lot of decisions to make. And some of them are in difficult seats, to make this decision because we've never been in this situation. So we have to adapt. Whatever they decide, we'll try to adapt, make the most out of it, and get back doing our jobs the best possible way.
And what about transfers? I guess some Arsenal fans will have been allowing themselves to think about the possibility that new players might arrive at some point. What sort of planning is being done in that direction?
I'm planning 2, 3 different scenarios that we can face, and depending on one of those three, we will be able to do more, less, or nothing. We don't know. We have to react daily to that. We don't know the financial situation, what it's going to be. We don't know what the rules. We don't know the timing. We don't know the window. It's so many things that we cannot control at the moment.
Mikel, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much for giving up your time today.
Thank you very much.
Hope everyone stays well at Arsenal. Send them our best wishes, please.
Thank you. Same for you.